And we're ready to get started. Just received one subscription from TikTok. Way to go. Getting started, getting started. Here we go. Tra la la. Alrighty. So, who do we got here tonight? I can't read that. Nothing. Okay, nothing joined. Sammy. Is that Brandon? Brandon, how's it going there, Mr. Brandon? Daniel, how are you this evening? Divvy Dave. Way to go, Divvy Dave. Johnny W. How you doing, Laura? How are you? Getting ready to get started. Hello, sir. Hello to you too, Mr. Brandon. Alrighty, getting started. James, how are you doing this evening? Way to go, just getting warmed up. All right, we got Facebook up and running. Ooh, can somebody check real quick and see if this is live on YouTube? See if that's working properly. How's the garden? It's working out very nicely. Good, all right, Mr. James. Sammy, do you do covered calls? If you do, can you explain it to me, please? Sammy, cool beans, Gallant. Found a good one. Cool beans. Looking forward to it, Gallant. Right now, we're going to give Sammy said, an idea of what a covered call is. Now, Sammy, there are a lot of videos on YouTube. Actually, you can find videos everywhere explaining what a covered call is. You basically buy a stock. Gallant, you like it. EL. What is that? Estee Lauder? Yeah, I got some of that. Wildcat Sam, how's it going? Sammy, so you buy a stock for General Motors, IBM, AT&T, whatever. But when you buy the stock, you have to buy 100 shares. Divvy Dave, what's happening? Wildcat Sam, pretty good. Buy 100 shares to equal one option contract. Now, what you're doing is you're buying the stock at a certain price, and then the stock option comes in when you sell the rights to someone else for them to buy it from you at a certain price by a certain day. All right, so let me give you a quick scenario. Right here we're looking at Intel, INTC. So if I want to do a covered call on Intel, I would have to buy shares, either 100, 200, 500, 1,000, whatever works for you. So right now, Intel is at 1992, just shy of 20 bucks. So if I buy it for 1992, I can turn around and sell somebody a call option, and that's called a covered call. Sell them an option to buy it from me for almost the exact same price I just paid for it. So if I'm paying 1992, I sell somebody the rights to buy it from me at 20, which is only 8 cents more than I paid for it. But what I am collecting is what I'm looking for is this right here. This is called the premium. Okay, so when you sell, now as a call writer, that's what you would be doing. You buying the stock, selling the option. You become a call writer. And then you would collect 47 cents per share. I know that doesn't sound like a lot of money, but 47 cents is over 2%. And that's what I'm doing here. I look at safe, predictable, consistent. 1% per week is what I'm looking for. This one just so happens to be 2%. All right, and that's not for this week, that is for next week. Because this week, the 16th, August, the 20 for this, okay, well, that works too. Okay, this week's 20 call, if I bought it first thing tomorrow morning, 1992, I could sell somebody rights to buy it from me from this Friday for 24 cents a share. Now, 24 cents a share is a little over 1%. A little over 1% per week comes to over 50% per year. Now, it is a safe, predictable, consistent trading strategy that I've been using for the last 15 years. Now, I originally started out buying calls, but now I only sell them because I'm looking for the inevitable. And what is the inevitable? The inevitable is the passage of time. Okay, so as time passes, the value of these goes down because each day represents a certain portion of the value of the option. Okay, so the value of the option is the amount of time you have left, the current stock price, the current strike price, interest rates, volume, intrinsic value, a lot of weird stuff. But to simplify it, if I'm going to buy the stock at 1992, sell someone has the right to buy it from me at 20, I'm collecting 1%. That's basically all I'm looking for. That's only half the equation, though. The other half of the equation is, what is the chart telling me? Now, every chart tells a story. Well, 5 things I want to see when I look at a chart. First is, where's the high of the year? Okay, see, this is the chart. Here's the high. Okay, here's the low, way over here. A year ago, it was way over there, and currently it is right there. And as you can see, it is in a downward trend at the moment. Okay, now that's looking at the 1-year chart. Now, I like to look at 4 different charts. First, I want to look at the 1 year. What am I looking for specifically? Well, I don't want it at the high of the year. See, here's the high right here. I don't want it at the high of the year, and I don't want it at the bottom of the year. So where it is right now, it's bouncing off that bottom, which is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it to bounce off the bottom on the way to the upside, because stocks go up and then they go down. They go up, then they go down. They go up, then they go down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, that's all they do. They go up and they go down. Now, to make money in the stock market, you buy low and you sell high. Well, you're not going to get very much lower than it is right now, the low of the year. Hey, Drazik, that's 2 days in a row you're here before 11:15. Way to go. Yeah, root beer. Alrighty, let's take a close look at Intel. All right, taking a closer look at Intel. A year ago, here we are, we hit 35, shoot all the way up to 51, and that was towards the end of December. Okay, the low of the year was just last week. All right, so I like the low of the year. I especially like the low of the year once she hits it and then she bounces up to go back up. So let's take a closer look. That's the 1 year chart. Next, I want to take a look at the 90 days. So here's the last 90 days. 38, 90 days ago. Was that 37? It's the top. Back at 38, and she gaps down to 20. From 30 down to 20. Is that right? Yeah. From 30 all the way down to 20. Okay, so our bottom of the year, so the last 30 days. Okay, here's the last 30 days. Our 30-day high, 37.16. Okay, our 30-day bottom, right over here on the 8th, and that was 1884. Okay, so where's she sitting right now? Well, it's 4 days to the upside. Not the greatest moves up, but it's still up. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 days to the upside. So she comes down from a 30-day top, from 30-day bottom. Now she's going to the upside. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, and if I jump in first thing in the morning, buy it at the current market price, 1992, I can sell somebody the 20s and collect over 1%. Okay, great. What if I wanted to do the 1950s? Well, I'm losing 40 cents. Doesn't quite make it. Okay, so if I lose 42 cents, you take 42 cents off of that, I'm walking away with 13. That's not quite the same. Okay, so the 20s looks like it's going to be the best choice, unless you want to go to next week's 20s and you can get 2%. What's the most you've made in a day? The most I've made in a day, I'd have to say somewhere around 12 or 15,000. That's it. I don't make big bets. Sorry. I'm looking for slow, predictable, and consistent returns. Okay? Slow, predictable, and consistent. What stock are you looking at? James, right now we're looking at Intel, INTC. I love this little gap they have here, because gaps have a tendency to fill. So if she fills, she's going to go to the upside. Right now she's at almost 20. So we got to get big gap between 20 and 30 that's going to fill eventually. I want to be around there for when it fills. All right. So let's go to our list. Second one on our list is GBP. Is that CPB or GPB? Andrea, CSCO. That's crazy, man. I want to get started, but it's so confusing at first. Eduardo, it's really not that confusing. Okay? Now, I have found in my many years that adults have a tendency to make it more complicated than it needs to be. This trading strategy was created for a 9-year-old. She was 9 when my daughter wanted to learn how to do this. It had to be simple, it had to be safe, predictable, consistent, and no way that she could lose. That's the five objectives I had to figure out when creating a trading strategy for my daughter. So here's the thing. Let's see if I can get some videos over here. Okay. First thing, never buy something you do not understand. That's rule number 1. If you don't understand it, if you don't know what they do, if you have no clue at all about the company, don't buy it. Okay? It's simple. If you don't know who it is, always go into a trade as if you're going to buy it and hold on to it for a long time. Because realistically, that's what stocks were intended for in the first place. Someone to buy it, hold on to it for years, and then sell it later on. Well, we're not really doing that here. What we're doing here is we're buying it, scalping a little bit off the top, and then getting out. But I always go in as if I'm going to hold it. Now, I have no problem at all buying Intel and just holding it for a long period of time. But if it hits my target and gives me 1% every week, well, because I'm going to write a covered call against it every week. Great. If I buy it at $20 or $19.92, I can sell the 20 this week, get 1%. More than likely, I could probably do the same thing next week and collect another percent. And then the week after that, and then the week after that, and then the week after that, and continue on and on and on. Okay, I could even buy it here and sell 4 weeks out. Look at this. 4 weeks out, I'm getting 90 cents. Well, that's 4%. Well, why not just hit the 4 weeks out, get the 4%, and I don't have to worry about it for another 4 weeks. Well, that's cool. All right, that's Intel. Somebody wants to take a look. Let's get rid of some of these. Upload. Interesting. All right. Somebody wants to take a look at Costco, or Cisco, CSCO. Now that was weird. My computer just shut down. That was definitely weird. Huh. Well, taking a look at my computer. That would be a bummer. I mean, I know I need a new computer eventually. This one's like 4 years old. But she's not turning on. That would make me very uncomfortable because I got so much information in this computer. 22 questions. So let's go back and take a look at some questions. Estee Lauder for next Friday. Uh-oh. Let's put you down here for a second. Okay. That's a white light, not a red light. Okay. You got to be joking. Wow. That's going to be an interesting night now, isn't it? Well, looks like we're just going to answer some questions because having a problem with my computer. It's almost time for a new computer. All right, Chipotle. Sorry, I can't tell you anything about Chipotle. KB, hello. Which to choose? Billy, I feel your problem. I feel your pain there. Tim Huff. Repurchase agreement. Please educate your viewers. Long live the king. Well, not quite sure what that means, but okay. Okay, Galan says, Cisco looks great for next week. You've got to be joking. Well, isn't this just lovely? Andrea. I'm concerned they will go down further. Andrea, what are we talking about? Which to choose? CLM, JEPI, HTGC, USA. All right. Okay, why is the white light coming on and not a red light? It's supposed to be a red light. Lovely. All right, we've got issues. Thoughts on UPS? Love UPS. Alex, power plug. Yep, got it. Loading up on UPS for the dividend on the way down. Okay. Probably Cisco switch router. Probably Cisco switch router ran out of dividends. Sorry, Alex. Check cable. Yep. Chipotle. What do you think about trading futures? I used to trade futures years ago. At least you laugh. Hope you don't lose any information. Yep. Looks like that's going to be the power plug. Is what it is. I can always yank the hard drive out and get that redone. So, if I can't buy Sammy, so if I want to buy 1 share of Intel, I pay the ask price. Is that correct? Yes, because you have the bid and then you have the ask. The bid is if you're selling, the ask is if you're buying. Isn't that freaking lovely? Freaking lovely. Lovely, lovely, freaking lovely. Well, what do you guys want to talk about now? Hold the power down for 5 or 10 seconds. The residual. Yeah, well, the power cord, when you plug it in, it's supposed to be red, but it's coming on as white. So I'm not quite sure what that means. How much is your class? It's $100 a month. We have a live trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. 9 a.m. until whenever we're done. Sometimes we go 10, sometimes we go to 11. You know, whenever you guys are done asking questions. So as many questions as you have, I'll stay on all day and just answer all the questions. Andrea Chipotle, we learned our lesson with that one a while ago. Joe Sullivan. Joe, I want to apologize now because I'm having computer issues. Apparently, my computer is dead. Is what it is. You know, I knew I needed a new computer, but I wasn't quite ready to buy one this time. Yeah, Andrea, Chipotle doesn't have any dividends. Should Congress be allowed to own stocks? No, they shouldn't. But that's just my opinion. What do I know? You know? I mean, they should be just like every other person in the United States, and that's who they're supposed to be. You know, the founding fathers originally created Congress to have the average person come in, serve a couple of terms, and then move on. They weren't intending to have career politicians when they created, you know, the government that we actually have. Thoughts on JetBlue? What about Shell? JetBlue, I can't tell you anything. Damages are in the septillions. Yeah, probably. Going down, I own some after the split. Long hold Intel. Okay, I have no problem holding on to Intel. Check cord connections. Yeah, I see that. That's not helping me out at the moment. You know, the light's still coming on as white, not as red. It's supposed to come on as red. And holding the power button is doing absolutely nothing. So, looks like it's a couple $100 down the tubes for another one. Is your cable hooked? Oh, I got a light. So let's see what happens. All right, maybe she'll come on. We'll see. I got a light coming on. So we'll see what happens. Hold the power button down for a few seconds. You can get, nice, that works. Okay, well, I'm waiting for it to turn back on. I got some light over here. Yeah, I like that, Manny. Yep, the cable's hooked. Being sued by their shareholders. Intel, wow. All right, CBX. And we have life. Okay. So she's coming back on. So give me a few minutes while this thing reloads. Is call always purchased? Mine are, because if the market maker lists them for sale, then he's required in order to do it. You're 1%, please hold my computer. How could it be 1%? The thing was fully charged a little while ago. All right, all that being said, I'm going to have to. I'm happy with Estee Lauder. It is my one of my losing positions at the moment. I don't have that. Actually, it's in my grandson's account, but that's okay. Let's take a look. First thing I always want to take a look at is the chart. So here's the high way over there a year ago. The bottom is recently, a couple of days ago. Okay, that's where it was. This is where it is, and this is the direction that it's going. Those are the 5 things I want to see. High, low, where was it, where is it, and where it's going. Okay? Do you trade as an individual or a business? As a business. Less taxes that way, and I get tax write-offs. All right, Gallant. Let's take a gander. $92.50 is the current going price for Estee Lauder. All righty. Estee Lauder, here we go. The high up over here, 168. The bottom down here, 85. And we're in a downtrend at the moment. So let's take a quick look at Estee Lauder. The current price, $92.50. The 92s are going, can that be right? $5? $5 for the 92. Now, if I sell the 92.50s, if I buy it at 92.50 and I sell the 92s, I'm losing 50 cents, but I'm making $5. So that's $4.50 right off the top. Or, yeah, it's $5. Or I can just do the 92s at 5, the 93s at 460, the 94s at 410. I like the premiums for this. This is nice. Okay, Here's the last trade, 91.63. The bid, 91.60. The ask, 92.50. 3.7 million shares traded today. So if I buy it now, that's what I'm going to look for. Okay, a year ago we were sitting at 167. That was the high. A couple of days ago was the bottom at 85.35. The last 90 days, there's your high right here. It just falls and keeps falling. Alrighty, whoops, I gotta change my screen. Now, can somebody do me a favor and see if the chart up on YouTube is working? Uh-oh. Nope. Nope, it's not. No, it's not made for children. Okay, it should be on in a couple of seconds. It should be live streaming right about now. Okay, so live stream. YouTube is lagging badly. Ooh, that's not a good thing. Can you simulate a trade using a buy and covered call? Hey, Blueberry, sure, why not? Let's take a look at Estee Lauder. Why not? Okay, we got Estee Lauder up, the 92.50s. I like the 92s. So let's do the 92s. Go for $5. Well, let's see what this week looks like, just for the fun of it. This week's 92s. All right, well, let's do this week's. No. No, because 92.50, if I sell at 92, I'm only bringing in 60 cents. Yeah, no, I'm going to do next week's. Because tomorrow's Thursday, and we want it at least, 4 or 5 days. Wave Runner, James, last night you pointed out the spread between bid and ask. 22.34 bid, 28 ask. What would it... I don't know. Would you like the stock of your life? I'm in aerospace research. Check out TDG. Beautiful stock. Yeah, Liam, I'm going to say no. Never heard of it, and I only do companies that have 20 years of increased dividends. MS, Morgan Stanley, and Microsoft. All right, well, take a look at Morgan Stanley. Let's finish up with Estee Lauder first. Now, somebody wanted to see a sampling of a covered call. Well, let's do one. First thing I want to do, get rid of this, because I don't need it anymore, because we already decided we like the 92.50s. All right, first thing I want to do. Now, I use Thinkorswim, so it makes it easier if you guys are doing the same one. Yay, Estee Lauder only works for next week. All right, Gallants, we'll just take a gander at it. I'm changing it from single to covered stock. Now, I said I like the 92s. Okay, here's the 92 right here. Nope, I'm going to buy that, and it automatically fills right there. Okay, buy 1,000 shares, Estee Lauder, sell 10 contracts. Okay, I like doing it at the market order because they're already tied together. Now, let's see what our trade is going to look like. Okay, hit confirm and send. Here we go. You ready? Buy 10 covered Estee Lauder 100s. Those are the weeklies. 23 August 24. That is next Friday. Not this Friday, but next Friday. Okay? The 92 call to open. Market order to open. Now, my break even is 86.53. So, when I say I like safe, predictable, consistent, well, that's predictable. It's telling me what my profit's going to be even before I do it. All right? Okay, this is what it's going to cost me. So let's crunch the numbers. Now, there's two set of numbers I'm going to crunch. It's going to be 86,000 if I'm doing all cash. It's going to be 40,000 if I use my margin account. Okay? So let's take a look at both of them and see how much we're bringing in. All right. So I want to bring up my calculator. There we go. Okay, my profit, 54, 70. See it right there. Let's move this out of the way so people can look, people can see. All right. Okay, order description. That's what I'm buying. Break even, 86.53. Maximum loss. Now the reason why it says maximum loss, that is what I'm dishing out for this trade. I am buying these shares, 1,000 of them, okay, at the market price. That just so happens to be 86,000. If that's too much for you, let's change it a little bit. And let's get rid of that. To make it easier for some people, let's go 400 shares. Okay, so 400 shares. It's only costing me 34,000. Okay, so my maximum profit is going to be 2,188. So let's get the calculator out. Let's clear that. $2,188 is my maximum profit. Okay, it says it right here. Max profit, 2,188. Max loss, that's what it's costing me. Okay, legally, if they got to tell you that is the risk. Now, if the stock goes kaput and just disappears off the face of the earth, you know, it happens. You know, companies do get swallowed up by sinkholes, earthquakes, hurricanes, tornadoes. Yeah, so it's possible. But anyway, so there's my profit, 2,188. I'm going to divide that by the purchase price, 34,614. And it's going to give me a return for that can't be right. Gallant, can that be right? Did you check these numbers? That's 6%. Okay? That's kind of high, but you know, it is what it is. All right, let's get out of there. Let's change this back to that. All right, that's for next week. Yay, works for this week. Cool beans. Okay, so Garrett wants to take a look at Morgan Stanley and Microsoft. All right, so I kind of like Estee Lauder. Now, I do have some Estee Lauder I bought months ago. Okay, I bought it months ago, so I bought it here. Now it's at here, so it's probably a good idea for me to dollar cost average down. I'll take a look at it in the morning. All right, Garrett, Morgan Stanley, MS. Well, don't we have an issue today? The dreaded black screen. I wonder what that means. Wow. So, looks like we might have an early night. Wonder why that does that. And it's never done this before. I mean, I only had the computer like 4 or 5 years. Might be time for a new one. Not quite sure. So it's loading again. So let's take a look at it. Don't tell me I gotta sign in all over again. Damn it. I do see 5 phones reflecting off the screen. Actually, there's 6 of them. This one right here keeps turning off because I'm not using it. Okay, so there's actually 6 of them. Let's finish setting up your PC. What do you mean setting up my PC? I've had this damn thing for 4 years. Flying turd, I gotta set it up all over again. Microcock. That's funny. Where the hell did you get a name like Microcock? I mean, alrighty, if that's what you want to put up there. Alright, Garrett. If it's a laptop, the battery or the charger may be going bad. Yep, probably. Actually, there are 6 is diabolical. My name is so good. Yeah, Microcock. I'm not 100% sure. I would be happy with that one. And I gotta sign in all over again. Damn it. Just buy a Mac, way better. Yeah, buy a Mac. I love it when people say that. Just buy a Mac. I have known nothing at all about Macs. I know how to turn it on, that's about it. But then I have to learn everything all over again, and I have no desire to do that. What's your thoughts on JBLU? I really couldn't tell you my thoughts on JBLU because I don't look at stocks that don't have 20 years of dividends. Okay, and I like to have increased dividends. All right, that one's logging in. Let's log in another one. Is your method known as writing covered calls? Yes, it is. All right, C-Gens, my thoughts on JetBlue. I really can't give you my thoughts on JetBlue only because they have not been around long enough. All right, so that count's signed back in. This one is still installing. I'm not gonna sign in for the third one. Just do the two, because we're just answering questions. It's a Wednesday night. Not a whole heck of a lot happens on a Thursday. Okay, you think Cisco looks as good as Estee Lauder? Okay, well, let's take a look. Let's get rid of that one. Put it down there for now. All right, so Estee Lauder we just looked at. Cisco, CSCO. Okay. High of the year, 58.10. The bottom of the year, 44.53. Let's take a look at the last couple of weeks. All right. Nice. I like it. Look at the chart, because the chart tells you a lot. Here's the high. Here's the low. That's where it was, and this is where it is, and here's where it's going currently. It's going to the upside. 30-day bottom right there on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, both up days. I like 2 up days in a row. That works for me. Okay, Galant thinks it's for next week. Okay, the current price is $48. See it right here? 40, that can't be right, because 44 was the closing price. So hypothetically speaking, it should be closer to 46, but at 48, we're bringing in 62, more than 1%, like 1.5%. I like it. Okay, let's take seasonality. What does this thing normally do this time of year? Normally, at this time of year, Cisco kind of drops a little bit, recovers, and then kind of goes to the upside. All right, fine. All right, if you like Cisco, because that's always the biggest challenge. Okay, now, do you like Cisco and do you like it at this price? That's the important question. Do I like Cisco? Do I like it at 48.05? Okay, now I like Cisco. It is on my list. Okay, the numbers look great. Your 30-day high 30 days ago drops, comes back up, challenges that 30-day high, drops again, up, then down. Now she's going to the upside. All right, it is plain to see. Okay, up, down, up, down, up, down, up is where she's going now. All right, so that's we look at Estee Lauder and Cisco. Both of them look good. Now, I'm not recommending either one of them. I always tell people, if you like something, okay, number one, make sure you like it. Make sure you like it as if you're going to buy it and hold on to it for a long period of time. Cisco Systems has been around for quite a while. I really don't see them going away anytime soon. Not like Wells Fargo, not Wells Fargo, not like Walgreens or CVS. They're having issues. But Walgreens and CVS has stores all over the place. Cisco, I'm not sure how many corporate headquarters they have. All right, let's move along. Let's go over to my list. This is what we're looking at from last night. CPB, that's Campbell's Soup. What is a low price stock you recommend for learning? Okay, James, what I actually recommend for learning is paper trading. Go download this, it's free to download. Okay? You can download this free. And then you do what's called a virtual account. It's kind of like Monopoly, right? So you're just using, paper money, so you're not losing anything, you're not risking anything. But at some point, when you get really good at it, like when you're really good at playing Monopoly, then you go buy a real house. Okay? When you get really good paper trading with the stock market, okay, using real-time data, then jump into something you're comfortable with. Because remember, if you don't do it, you're going to give your money to someone else, and they're going to do it. So if you cut out the middleman, you can make his profits. Because if you take a... Garrett, we already looked at Morgan... No, wait, we didn't look at Morgan Stanley. Well, let's take a look at Morgan Stanley. Morgan Stanley, a year ago, 87.14. Bottomed out in October, late October, 69.59. Topped out 7.16. That was just a couple of weeks ago. Alrighty. Last 30 days ago, we opened up at 103. 103, very next day, there's our high. One gap down, two gap downs. Look at the run up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 days to the upside. All right. Can it do it for the rest of the week? Maybe. What are we looking at for the rest of the week? Well, at this moment in time, it's $100.54. So the 100s are going for 51. Yeah, that ain't going to make it. Let's get rid of that one. So next week, the 100s are going for 127. That's not going to make it either because you only bring in 77 cents after you take the 54 off of there. The 101s, yeah, these numbers, sorry, Morgan Stanley's not giving you 1%. The fun. Okay, this is Thinkorswim. You can go to thinkorswim.com and download this. Can you check Cintas? Sammy wants to look at Cintas. Really? Cintas. All right. CTAS is going to be a no. Here's the reason. Okay, Sammy? Number one, it's monthly optionable stock. I don't do monthly optional stock because the numbers just don't work. Okay, at and also it's at $763 per share. So just to do 100 shares, you're talking $76,000 just to do one contract. And one contract at $76,000, you're looking at getting 235. What kind of a deal is that? Hold on a second. The 760s, 1800. Alrighty, so $1,870 would be the profit, and it's going to cost me $758,136. Yeah, I'm going to say no. That is absolutely horrible. Richard Bruner, the compounding effect of 1% per week is huge. No, not really. It's only on like 62%. Which paper trading account is that? That is Thinkorswim. Like I said, you can download that for free and be able to use that for your trading. Bamarock, you're here. Cool beans. Rich Bruner, Mr. Bishop. I'm going to ignore you, Mr. Bishop. Thank you, Bamarock. Yeah, SMCI. That's a no. That's one of the top turds on my list. Okay, thanks. Just wondering. Gallant, the premium last on target for next week. Yeah, crazy. All right, let's take a look at that. All right, so CTAS is a no. What one are we looking at now? Target, TGT, TGT. All right, TGT 135s. The 135s are going for 590. Ooh, now that's nice. 138s. The 138s are going for 450. Okay, that's nice also. Okay, a year ago we're at 131, bottomed out at 102. I don't even have to look because I had it at the time. Crazy cause earnings. Crazy cause of earns. Target. Don't know what that means. Wildcat Sam wants to look at Disney. All right, give me a minute. Okay, the bottom of the year 102, the top of the year 181. Drops. Has two gap downs. All right, one right there at 146 and one again at 137. Finding the bottom at 132, and you got a week and a half going to the upside. Look at this. Here's your 30-day bottom here. Okay, week and a half going to the upside. We're sitting at 136 at the moment. The 136s are going for 540. Now, what does it normally do this time of year based on seasonality? Well, this time of year, she should have a little bit of a dip coming up next week and go back to the upside. Okay, little dip, then back up. Based on history. Doesn't guarantee that's what it's going to do now. That's what it's done over the last 10 years. Because remember, the seasonality chart shows us January 1st to December 31st. A whole year. The blue line represents the current movement. The red line represents 10 years of average movement. Oh boy. Live will end in 5 minutes. We have detected inactivity during your current live. Really? There we go. I don't know why I say inactivity. Target has earnings next week. All right, Fonz, let's take a gander at that. Target has its earnings. Target has its dividend next week. And its earnings. Wow, imagine that. The dividends and the earnings are on the same day. Okay? So that's messed up. Because if you want to collect the dividend on this, you have to buy it before this date, which means the 20th, the 19th, the 13th, the 15th, the 6th, and the 31st. Any date before the EX date of the 21st, and that's next Wednesday. Okay? Just to be able to collect the dividend on that company. But other than that, hypothetically, it looks, here's your high, here's your bottom, going to the upside. That's what it looks like. All right, now there was another one you guys wanted to take a look at after this one. What was that? COF, Capital One Finance. COF, Capital One Finance. Interesting. Okay, currently, okay, here's the high, the low. Where was it? Where is it? Look at the direction. That is an upward trend. Okay, a little bit of a pullback. Now she's still going up. All right, not that difficult to see that. It's currently sitting at 135.95. So we're looking at the 136s. Well, that's 260. That's just shy of 2%. Now remember, we're buying it this week and we're selling next week's, because this week's premium, you never know. Okay, but I think, not 100% sure, I think either at the end of the month, the middle of next month, I might head up to Maine for a couple of weeks. Overheating because it's old and programming not strong enough. Well, I wouldn't say that, because that phone over there is newer than this phone over here. This phone over here is working fine. So, you know, is what it is. Alrighty. Let's get back, and Capital One Finance, that's where we are. A year ago, we're at 109, bottomed out end of October, 88.50. Got a top at 153.63. And that was just recently. Right? Here we are right now at 135. So let's take a closer look at those numbers. What was your opinion on EPS? Dane, I don't think I ever said anything on EPS. I wrote it down. We'll take a look at it a little bit. All right. Last 30 days. Here we go. Capital One Finance. 30 days ago, we opened up at 140. Okay. Here's your high. Here's your low. Look at that uptrend right there. We're at 136 at the moment. Our high is at 153. Up, down, up. Big drop. One gap down. Two gap downs. This gap filled. So we're looking to fill this gap here. Okay, so we're right here now. Okay, this gap is filled. She should be coming back up to the 144 area eventually and filling that gap before proceeding to the 30-day high. Now, will it get up to the 30-day high? Don't know. Because you and I, we are responsible for that. Because as long as we continue buying, it will continue going up. We just got to know, how do we feel about Capital One Finance? Dangy, EPS is a monthly, and that's a no. Thanks, Bammer Redneck. I should probably make you one of the moderators. All right, DE, which is John Deere, and FedEx. All right, well, let's take it out. Warren Buffett dumped Capital One Finance stocks in a filing released today. Really? I didn't know that. But still, okay. It doesn't change the facts. The 30-day highs here, 30-day bottoms here, and you have 6 days to the upside. You know, there's no arguing that. All right. Next on the list, John Deere, DE. Ooh, 351. Can that be right? Okay, take a look at the numbers for John Deere. A year ago, 437. That was a year ago. Okay, the bottom was 340, and that was the end of July. Okay. So, 30 days ago, we opened up at 365. Okay, right over here, 365. Shoot all the way up to 390. Drop all the way down to 340. That's a $50 drop. A $50 drop on a $350, $360 stock. Okay, that's a big drop. All right. We got, that's plenty of space to the upside. Currently sitting at 351.28, looking at the 355s. The 355s are going for 2% for the next week. Well, actually, wait a second. That's for this Friday. Think about it. If I buy John Deere first thing in the morning at 355, I can sell somebody that writes to buy it from me at 355 and still collect $7, which is close to 2%. Okay, fine. That works for me. Let's take a look at some of the questions we're missing out on. All right, FedEx, hung on. Take a look at FedEx. FDX. Wow. 1, 2, 3. Do you see those 3 black swans? You got one here, black swan, one here, black swan, and one here, black swan. So this one's going to the downside, okay? This one here is going down. This one here is going up, and this one here is going up. Well, cool. All right, well, a year ago, we're seeing at 265. We bottom out at the end of October at 224. Okay, we have 3 gaps, 1 down and 2 up. Okay, our high of the year, 313.84. Okay, so from the 30-day high, 313.84, drops all the way down to 273. 15.25, that's $40. That's a $40 drop. That's close to 15%. Okay. Well, 3 days to the upside from the 30-day bottom. See, here's your 30-day bottom right here. On the 9th, 273. 1, 2, 3, going to the upside. All right, and the 283s, or the 284s, Yeah, not for this week. The 285s are going for 330. All right, that's over 1%. The 282s, that's going to be over 1% also. Now, the 282s was going to be a safer bet. Okay? Okay, you're going to get your 1%, but it's already in the money. What does the stock have to do? Have to do absolutely nothing. If it goes up, great. If it goes down, okay, it can come down a little bit and you're still making money. All right, 9 more questions. Manny. High price on John Deere. Yep, expensive, but they work. You're correct, they do. Reggie Bo Jackson, John Deere earnings date is tomorrow. Yeah. 86. How are you this evening? Wow, it's only 10 o'clock and I'm already, my eyes are getting heavy. My eyes are heavy and my sights were dim. I had to stop for the night. There she stood in the doorway. Okay, this one, V-I-C-I. I've never heard of it before. V-I-C-I. So why are we looking at it? Yeah, no. PM. Now, somebody wanted to look at Philip Morris yesterday. Well, here it is. Philip Morris. Okay, don't get me wrong, but it's going to be a no. Look, too close to the high. Okay? Profit-taking galore. Too many computer problems. Okay. Alrighty. So, Philip Morris is going to be a no. However, 1117, the 117 is going for 130. Okay, the premiums look okay. So let's put Philip Morris for 2 weeks from this week. Okay, not next week, 2 weeks. Because I want to see, personally, all this profit taking take place. Okay, because 30 days ago you're at 108. Now you're at 118. That's a $10 move, just shy of 10%. Okay, I see a stock jump 10%. Yeah, thank you, I'm out. But that's me. Not everybody's like that way. All right, that was Philip Morris. Cool beans. Altria. Somebody wanted to look at Altria last night. M-O. Yep, Altria is not this week. Okay, again, same thing, way too high. Can you show us how to get the dividend calendar, please? Jordan and Company. Hold 1 second. I'm going to put Altria down for 2 weeks because I'm waiting for that profit taking to take place. All right. See this price up here, the 51.19. I want to wait about a week. 2 weeks, you should be down in 48 area, hypothetically, in 2 weeks. So we're going to take a look at Altria again in 2 weeks. Can you show how to get to the dividend calendar? Well, that's simple enough. Okay, take your cursor at the very top. All right, let's get rid of this right here. Okay, get rid of this right here. There's a little arrow right there, smack dab in the middle. You click that, and that disappears. All right, now. The top line, way up at the top, okay, you're going to have all kinds of information. You can have your account information, and then just under your account information, it's going to say monitor, trade, analyze, scan, market watch. Now look under the market watch. Quotes, alerts, visualize, financing rates, calendar. All right, that's how you get to the calendar on Think or Swim. Click back on there, get back over to here, and here we are, back to where we want to be. Okay, so hopefully that worked out for you. Next on our list is ADM. That's Archer Daniels. ADM. Archer Daniels Midland. A year ago, Archer Daniels was at 85.08, and that's the high of the year, a year ago. Look at the size of this drop right around in the end of January, from 68 all the way down to 51. Okay, finding the bottom end of January at 50 bucks. That's a big drop. All right, last 30 days. Okay, here's our last 30 days for Archer Daniels. 30 days ago, we opened up at 64.18. 64.18. A couple of days later, we hit the 30-day high, 66.08. From there, we dropped, and yesterday is the new 30-day bottom, okay, and that is 56.88. We're sitting at 58 at the moment, okay, 58.75 if I want to buy it, 58.75. Okay, I'll be looking at the 59s, they're 45, not quite 1%. Now, Archer Daniels is a 100-year-old company. They have increased their dividends for more than 5 decades. Okay, that's one of the safest companies out there. I love safe companies. I prefer it if they pay me 1% or more, but you know, it is what it is. I'll take what I can get. Okay, next on the list, AEO. AEO. Interesting. Now I actually have some AEO. A year ago, 1593. Bottomed out the middle of September at 1444. Okay? Shoots up to the high of the year at 2644, and that was back in March. Now, I originally jumped into AEO on April 1st at 26. Don't ask me why I got in at 26. I say I don't buy at the high. For some strange reason, I ended up buying at the high. And I usually don't. I don't know what the hell went on there. Okay? I'd have to go back and check all my what do you call them? Podcasts. I'm having an issue with the podcast company. It tells me to update the software. I update the software, and it won't let me get back in again. Look at X. Maybe for 2 weeks. Okay, hold on a second. Bama Redneck. You want to look at US Steel. Okay, wait a second. Let me finish up with AEO first. Okay? Now, I have AEO. And my current position is 23.65 in this particular account. All right, I sold off the 21s. Okay, now this morning we were talking about this because this morning we were at 21.50. Now, I sold the 21s, all right, which means I was in the money, but I sold the 21s at 68 cents, which means whoever bought it is looking at a break even at 21.68. Okay, and it didn't get that high. So the person would have ended up losing money had they exercised it, and that's what I was counting on. So it pulled back to 20.63. I'm still in at 21. I'm still in at 23, but I sold the 21s. Okay. That being said, let's move on. What is next? Gallant wants to take a look at Applied Materials, AMAT. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. The high. Low, where was it? Where is it? What direction is it going? Cool. The last trade, 202.40. The 202.50s are going for $6.70. That's like 3%. All right, what is this week's going for? Is this week's even worth it? The 202s, well, yeah. 202.50s are going for $5. Yeah, I would do this week first, because you only got Thursday and Friday. Okay, that's well over. That's over 2%. That's 1% a day for Thursday and Friday. So if I bought it first thing in the morning at 202.40, and I sold the 202.50s, which expires in 2 days. Okay, that's over 2%. If I had any money available. See. I have all my money invested on Mondays and Tuesdays. So by Tuesday, I'm down to like 2% of my accounts. So I got 6 different accounts. I share 3 of them with you guys. It used to be 2, but now I'm up to 3. So I share 3 accounts with you. And in each and every account, I invest 98% of all the money. Because what's the point of having money just sitting there doing nothing? Wait for an opportunity? Well, my opportunities come Mondays and Tuesdays. And then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I see what happens and we go from there. Just Joshin. Okay, just Joshin. Any speculation on Exxon with opening the huge lithium mines in Arkansas? Well, JJ, let's take a look. Well, let's finish up with Applied Materials first, okay? AMA2. We're gonna finish up with that first. Okay, the high was, all right, hold on. A year ago, 141.66. Bottomed out the end of October at 129. Shoots on up to hit 256.70. And that was mid of July. Okay. 30 days ago was the 30-day high at 248.81. See it? There it is. 30-day high. 2 days later, we gap down, and then we keep dropping, and then we gap down again. Now this gap here on August 1st already filled. So we have another gap right here, okay, about 30 days ago that we're waiting for it to fill. Okay, I don't know if you guys can't see me. But it is what it is. Look at how many days we have to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, we get 2 more days for this week. And currently this week, 202s. The 202s are going for $5. Well, that's going to be over 2%. All right. That being said, let's take a quick look. What does Applied Materials usually do this time of year? Well, usually this time of year, she's going flat. Check it out. Okay, the blue line, go this way. The blue line up over here represents this year's movements. The red line down here represents 10-year average movement this time frame. So if I back it up just a little bit, okay, that's the whole year. Okay, all the way to the left is January 1st, all the way to the right is December 31st. So the blue line represents from January 1st all the way to August, where we are now. The red line is 10 years worth of data, January 1st to December 31st, 10 years, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, so on and so forth. So it gives us a good idea of what the stock usually does. That doesn't guarantee anything. It just gives us an idea. Well, this time of year, she has a tendency to go sideways. Okay, fine. Okay, but we have this trend here. Okay, now, I can't see your indicators. Let me see. Let me check back into that again. Hold on a second. What did he say? Can't see your monitor clearly. Ethan Hunt. Okay. Ethan, just to let you know, you're on YouTube. Okay. There's 2 live shows on YouTube. One is me standing in front of the computer, what you're seeing here. The other one is just the computer screen only. Me, I'm in the top corner way up over here. Okay, so there's 2 live shows on YouTube. Okay, one, me standing in front of the computer, one, just the computer screen alone. Yeah, so if you can't see it on your, yeah, I know. Okay, well, Ethan, you know it, but I don't know, seriously, I don't know how to zoom in. If I knew how to zoom in, I would zoom in. And I'd say, hey, this is what we're looking at. And I'd zoom in right to here, 202.40, okay? And then I'd zoom into right here. The 202.50 is going for $5. And I'd zoom in there and I'd show you the $5 that it's going for. If I buy it at this price tomorrow morning, sell this covered call, I'll be collecting this. And that is over 2% of what we're doing. I usually see 2 live broadcasts, but only 1 today. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's sign up again. Oh, yeah, because the computer crashed 3 times. It crashed 3 times. Start streaming, manage broadcast. It's not made for children. It's not gaming. It's entertainment only. Start. Here we go. Give it a couple of seconds, and we'll be live right about, what, 5 or 10 seconds? Okay. Can somebody check and see if the screen is live on YouTube? So there should be 2 live on YouTube. One, me standing in front of the computer, and one, just the computer screen. All right. Let's see if that works. Any speculation? Okay, we're going to go take a look at Exxon now, because someone's saying something about the lithium mines in Arkansas. I didn't even know we had lithium mines in Arkansas. ExxonMobil. You've got to be shitting me. Alrighty, let's just go through questions and answers. Why not? I'm not going through this again. It's 10:30. I'm not going to go through another hour of this. All right, we took a look at we didn't get a chance to do U.S. Steel. Sorry about that. I'm going to write U.S. Steel, and we'll take a look at it tomorrow night. Okay, we'll look at U.S. Steel tomorrow night. I have no idea what's going on, so I can call it quits for an early night. Any thoughts about Tesla? I just wish Tesla actually shared some of their profits, but they don't. Okay, they take all the profits and they just keep them. Puts it back into the company and the company grows. That's what young people are looking for. Now us old folks, people 60 and older that are retired and don't want to go back to work, well, we have to take our little nest egg and we have to make it work for us. Now I take my little nest egg, put it aside, and I get 1% per week. Okay, fine, dandy. Next week. Joy. Hello, James. Good evening. Well, Miss Joy, good evening to you also. I'm going to apologize now because we're having issues with the freaking computer. Yeah, why is that the power cord's not working? Yeah, I unplug it and I plug it back in and I'm getting nothing. Oh, okay. Yep, power cord issue. So it looks like first thing tomorrow morning, I go buy me a new computer and transfer all the data from this one into the new one. So tomorrow, I'll be on a new computer. So that being said, Joy, nice to have you with us. I don't remember ever seeing you here before because I'm relatively good at names. Calibri, how are you doing? Tesla is a no since it doesn't have dividends. Thank you, Calibri. That was nice. Joe, do you ever sell puts to get put to the stock and then sell calls? Now, that's called the wheel strategy, and it's a great strategy. But remember here, I do simple, safe, predictable, and consistent strategy. Okay, it was It was created for my 9-year-old daughter, and it had to be simple. All right, I have to log in again. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Exxon goes down all the time. I usually buy it between 95 and 100. Well, cool. I mean, that's an awesome idea. You know, if it consistently goes down, well, why not buy it when it goes down and sell it when it goes back up again? That's what we're doing here. We're looking for the momentum because that's all stocks do. They go up and then they go down and then they go up and then they go down. So, Andrea, I like what you're saying. Well, Andrea goes down all the time. Well, every stock goes down all the time. That's all they do. They go up and then they go down. Let's try this one more time. I'm only going to sign into one. So I'm wondering, now my son's house is a little on the older side. So I'm wondering, see, my battery is fully charged too. So I don't know why that is. Okay? So I don't know why that is. It keeps dying. Calibri. Gotcha, that makes sense. All right. Joe, some comments, blah, blah, blah. What stock did you talk about tomorrow morning with 2% returns? Calibri, I think that, I don't even remember which one that was. Gallant's the one that came up with it. But he had me looking at like 6 or 7 different stocks. So he had me look at like 6 or 7 different stocks. I really don't know which one it was. Does anybody remember what stocks we were just talking about? What do you think about OHO? OH10, that's Ohio. OHI, I've never heard of it, so I really couldn't tell you what I think about OHI. OHI. Omega Healthcare Investments REIT. Yeah, no. Sorry, it's live now. Well, Felix is probably not live anymore. Let's try it again. Or normally, let's try YouTube again. One more time. One more time. If we try. One more time for all the old times. I think we can make it. One more time. Yeah. All right, there's YouTube again. So OHI is going to be a no. It's live now. Yay, Andrea. Love Exxon. But they're too high for me right now. I have bought them and traded them 4 times. Okay. XOM. Here we go. 119.20. All right, a year ago, 111.89. Oh, sorry, 111.79. Bottomed out in the middle of January at 96.13. Topped out at 123.81 the middle of April. Okay, drops, moves back. Look at that movement. Isn't that awesome? Just take a look. Okay? Down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Where do you think it's going next? Come on, really? I love Exxon too. But Andrea's right. It's a little too high. Okay? The last 30 days. Okay, here's the last 30 days. Take a look at this. Okay, here we are. Up, down, up, down, up. Well, where do you think it's going next? 32 questions. Holy cow. Hello, it's Barbara from Pennsylvania. What was the stock we were talking about before? Excellent, don't know. Gallant, it might be YouTube streaming screen that's crashing the computer. Well, I don't know. I think option selling is better than dividends. Okay, Mahesh, I'm going to agree with you. Everyone needs to do that. Okay, Circle Project. All right, Jordan and Company. On average, how many trades do you place a week? About 20. Because remember, I got 6 different accounts. Okay? Now, I haven't bought anything in account number 1 for the past couple of weeks because everything just keeps floundering up, down. Nothing really getting bought out. Now, a couple of the other accounts, well, they keep coming and they go. They come and go. They come and go. See, if you look at it, if you look at my calendar, all right, the first week of August, DHI, Valero, Citigroup, Aetna, Southwest Airlines, Metropolitan, NEP, NextEra Energy, Ford, Intel, KBH, KB Homes, British Petroleum, IBM, Siri, Visa, Wells Fargo. Those are the only stocks I'm going to look at that week. That's it. Okay, I'm not going to look at Apple, Alcoa, Capital One Finance, ConocoPhillips, USD. I'm not going to look at those. Okay, so I only look at stocks when they have their dividend coming up. The reason being is before the dividend is paid. Okay, stocks have a tendency to increase before the EX date. So if I'm looking at Johnson & Johnson here on the 27th, I want to jump in 2 weeks before the dividend. So the dividend's here. 2 weeks before it is the week of the 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. All right, and I want to buy on a Monday at the market, at the open, if the chart tells me it's right. Because right now, with ExxonMobil up, down, up, now she's coming down, it's going to be a no for ExxonMobil this week for me. Now, I don't tell people what to do. Thank you. All right. Dylan Wilcock. Okay. Thank you for your content. I follow you tonight. Your patience with people is... You're patient with people and very informative. Well, I'm going to take that as a compliment. Thank you. Oh, talking about compliments. All right. You guys are going to love this one. All right. It's also a warning, okay? A warning and a compliment at the same time. Now, I've been doing this live show here every night since the beginning of January. And since I've been doing that, there are now 27 imposters pretending to be me. So here comes the warning part. If you get a text message, an email, a DM, Telegram, Postgram, whatever, from someone pretending to me or saying that to me, here's a couple of things you need to keep in mind. Number one, I don't do Telegram. Number two, I don't do WhatsApp. Number three, I don't do cryptocurrency. I don't do futures. I don't do Forex. And what is the other one? There's one more out there. It's really cool, but you got to sit in front of your computer all day. Yeah, I don't do that either. The only thing I do is dividend stocks for weekly cash flow. That's it. Okay, and you hear me live. So if you really want to talk to me, DM me with your phone number and I will give you a call. Now, usually, I'll call people and they say, oh my God, I didn't think you were going to call. I have a philosophy. If somebody puts their phone number in my email or in one of my boxes, I'm going to call them. Hello, good evening, morning, guys. Someone, it's evening, here anyway. We're going to see how this works. Water with lemon and honey for the throat. Keep coughing for some strange reason. It won't go away. So, Dylan Wilcock, thank you very much for that compliment. But I'm going to say you guys be leery because there are people out there that'll try to tell you, hey, it's James from Dividend Stock Talk. I got a great tip for you. Yeah, I don't do that. Sorry. I'll tell you everything right here. Now, I do have a morning trading group, and we do trade. We do meet every morning, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, okay, from 9 a.m. until whenever we're done with the questions. Because I'll stay on the phone, and I'll stay on the call. It's actually a live Zoom call. So you actually get to see my computer and interact and actually ask questions. You don't have to type them. You just yell, hey, James, can you show me that? Hey, James, can you show me this? Hey, James, can you explain that? Yeah, that's what I do in the morning call. Okay? Now, I've been doing podcasting for over 4 years, so let me just show you really quick. There's nothing here. What am I looking for? What am I, what? Yes, that's what we're looking for. Okay, so quickly, we're going to look at my website, The 10-Minute Trader. Now, if you go up to the bio right here, we'll see my little pretty little face, top left corner. Give it a good old smash, and that will bring you to my bio, which will give you a way to DM me. You see a little envelope there. That's where you send me an email. Also, you're going to see a link, The 10-Minute Trader. Okay? You can do a Google search. Who owns the 10-Minute Trader? You see, James owns it, or the Gardino Enterprises, whatever. And you see that I've owned it for over 20 years, this name. I also had another one, but I had it for longer. Anyway, down here towards the bottom, it says current trades for 2024. So it actually has all my trades. Hey, view all right there. Click that, and that will take you to the second page, which I'm still working up the kinks because it's relatively new. Now, I've had the original site for over 20 years, but I just upgraded because everything was old. All right, so here's my social media: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, podcast. Now, podcast is, I used to do a live podcast every single day, But lately, the podcast company that I was in got bought out by, I forget who bought them out. And then they upgraded. Now it's confusing as hell. Okay? But still, if you can see, there's over 900 episodes. Oh, can't hear it.
And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader, where I invest in dividend stocks for weekly cash flow, looking for a safe, predictable, consistent one.
Yeah, turn that off. You guys don't want to hear that. Anyway, yeah, there's over 900 episodes. Okay? So, where was I going with that? Underneath that, you see all my current trades. Okay, they're all there. I don't hide anything. I show you the winners, I show you the losers. I only had 2 losers this year so far. BITO, BITO, and Able Model. ABL. Able Model. Able Model, BITO, my only 2 losses so far this year. Okay, let's get back to where we were. Alrighty, now, or get a source. I have no idea what that means. How did this guy end up here? Disconnect. And now. Alright, I think option selling is better. Okay, yep. Circle project. Everyone needs to do that. Okay, Jordan, on average, how many trades I make a week? Ooh, too many. Thank you for your content, or get a source, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, you are having trouble with your internet. It's not my internet, it's my computer. Okay, now my computer's over 4 years old. It's time for a new one. I've just been slacking. I really don't want to do it. I just saw a $50 million wheel strategy. Well, cool beans. Such a script. Cool beans. What are your top 3 stocks with best dividends, of course? Well, my top 3 stocks this year, you ready? Macy's, Nordstrom's, and Kohl's. That's my top 3 for this year. How is BITO for dividends? Yeah, Mahesh, BITO, I had to scrub that. I was losing money, and I don't like losing money. So you see I have 2 losses this year. BITO is one, and Able Model is the other. But love Exxon. Way to go, Andrea. Yes, sir. I like Exxon because it usually easy to figure out when gas is going to go down. All right. Buy a Mac for stability, performance, and security. Forget Windows. Horrendous. Yeah, Calibri, I'm going to agree with you, but you know I probably should, because if you think about it, I have a Windows and I've had issues with it, but I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 iPhones all plugged into my Windows. Okay. How do you feel about PayPal? Oh, really? PayPal. PYPL. $66.14. Now, usually, PayPal PYPL. So we're gonna go over to Yahoo Finance and find out what's going on with PayPal and how well they increase their dividends on a consistent basis. Dividends only. Oh, look at that. There are no dividends in the selected time period. What does that mean? No dividends, no thank you. That's how I feel about PayPal. You see, the reason why I want dividends is, look, up, down, up, down, up, down. What do you get when the stock goes down if there are no dividends? Well, you get nothing unless you actively trade. Actively trade, you got to sit in front of your computer and look at things. Then you have to read quarterly reports, and then you have to read annual reports, and you have to do, no thank you. I like simple, safe, and predictable. Push keys. I love my singing. I sing horribly, but I do like to sing. Oh, check it out. Somebody just joined us. And who is it? Who just joined? Dennis. Dennis Mancini. Mancini. Wait a minute. Who's the name of that guy in the Princess Bride? Hey, Dennis Mancini. The prince. Remember the Princess Bride? Well, you had the Irish guy who was the hero of the story, and then you had Andre the Giant, and you had the short bald guy. And he says, "You never go, never bet with a Sicilian when life is on the line." And wasn't his name Vincini? Mencini or Vincini? I don't know. Anyway, totally off topic. Hey, Randall Ray, how are you doing? All right, Andrea, woohoo! Alrighty. Do you still like Mara? Let's take a look at Mara. Okay, let's take a look at Mara because I do have some Mara, and a lot of the followers they have Mara also. M-A-R-A. I would show you Mara in the account, but apparently I keep getting booted, so I don't have it open. Mara a year ago, 1476. Bottomed out at the beginning of October at $7.16. Can you imagine that? $7.16. You get high school kids can buy that stock at $7. Okay, anyway, so that's the low. Look what the high is, 34. So from $7 to 34, that's over a 400% increase. All right, that being said, last 30 days, 30 days ago, we opened up at 21.91. 2 days later was the 30-day high. Remember? High, low, where was it? Where is it? What direction is it going? Okay, Mara had a 30-day bottom here on the 5th, and that was 1366. She goes up, gap down a little bit, and have a new bottom over here on the 13th. And that was 1475. Today was a little bit higher, okay, at 15. So I like 2 days to the upside. So Mara, I'm going to write that down for next week. Because apparently Mara still paying good dividend, good premiums. Look at it. It's at 15.15 at the moment, right? 15.15. Right? So if I bought it at 15 and I sold the 15, I can collect 87 cents for next week. What can I get for this week? Okay, 48 cents for the 15th for this week. That's like 3% for this week, which is Thursday, Friday, only 2 days. Well, that's nice. But here's the big but, okay? You have to like Mara at 15.15. All right, that being said, let's keep on rolling. Lemon and honey will help your fingers crossed. Dennis, 6 out of my 8 weekly covered calls are in the money. That's a good thing. Well, yeah, 6 out of 8. I think only twice in 20 years. Oh, I'm sorry, 15. The first 5 years I was doing crazy stuff. Made a lot of money, lost a lot of money in the first 5 years. It wasn't until my daughter asked me to teach her in 2008 that I came up with a strategy. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent, and no way to lose. Okay? So, rule number 1, never buy something you don't understand. So, Dennis, if you got 8 positions and 6 of them are in the money, well, you're going back to cash come Monday, and you're going to need a whole bunch of new stocks to pick from. All right, Calibri. My wife says, what did Calibri say? Here we go. My wife says you coughed often every night, and that should get that checked. Well, I thank you for your concern, and you're absolutely correct. And I did get it checked. It just so happens I have what's called post-nasal drip syndrome. So right here in the back of my throat, it consistently dripping, drip, 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 nasals. And then it gets caught in my throat right down there where I can't quite get to it. And every time I cough, it shakes loose and then it resettles. Yeah. So the doctor said, here, take this prescription. I said, well, what are the side effects? And he gives me a list. I said, no, thanks. I'd rather cough and have the post-nasal drip. I'm 60 years old. I take no prescriptions whatsoever. Okay? So I'm looking for the magic elixir. Water, honey, lemon. I even tried a hot toddy for the past couple of nights. That's that water, honey, lemon, and bourbon. Yeah. Oh, that does burn it out of there. You know what works really good to get that post-nasal drip done and over with? Throwing up. Because the stomach acid comes up, burns that stuff right at the bottom of my esophagus, and then it's gone for hours. I have no desire to throw up whatsoever, but that does get rid of it. Yeah, sorry. I'm old school. Okay, I get hurt, rub dirt on it, walk it off, take prescriptions. Hell no. Sorry. I want to die and have the coroner say, whoa, what an awesome corpse. No pharmaceuticals whatsoever. Yeah, I don't trust them. Oh, Shell. Somebody wants to take a look at Shell. All right. Shell it is. Ooh, 73. 70, oh, that's 76. 76 trombones in the big parade. 98 clarinets are in the band. All right, so no for this week. Next week, 73. 50 cents? Yeah, sorry. Shell's just not working. Even next week, which has more time. Okay, currently it's at 73, right? And if I'm selling, right here, 73. And if I'm selling the 73, I'm only getting 50 cents. And that's for next Friday. Not this Friday, next Friday. Yeah, those numbers just don't work. Sorry. Sorry about that, E. Not that I don't like Shell. Do you buy and sell options? Butt, Sweat, and Beers. Dude, you've been here before. Okay? Butt, Sweat, and Beers. I've seen your name before in the roster, and I'm very good with names. Okay, you've been here before, so you know what I do. I buy good quality dividend stocks. Specifically, cold and hot liquids make it worse. Okay, this is actually room temperature, Dennis. Now, I'm in Florida, 90 degrees, and you think I'm going to go outside and not have a cold drink? Hell no. Anyway, besides the point. So, back to butt, sweat, and tears. Butt, sweat, and beers. Okay, you've been here before. You know that I do dividend stocks only. Specifically, dividend stocks that consistently increase their dividends to their shareholders. Because a dividend is a portion of the profit that is shared with the shareholders, and that's you and me. We buy and sell stocks. We are the shareholders. We are the investors. Okay, now some of us buy and hold long term. Some of us swing trade. Some of us day trade. What I do Monday through Friday. I buy on Mondays and Tuesdays. I sell a covered call on a good quality dividend stock when I do not mind owning for a long period of time. Because ultimately, I have no problem whatsoever buying companies and holding on to them. But here's the thing. If I buy a company, let's say hypothetically I buy Shell, okay, 73 bucks. Wonderful. And then I sell a covered call against it and I get a nice fat premium. Wonderful. I have two choices. I can let it go and then buy another company. Let's go over to the calendar for a quick second. All right. Let's take a look at the very first week here. Let's go with companies you probably heard of. Because some of those you may or may not heard of. Okay. This is just for a sample. Now this is Warren Buffett's list. I'm pretty sure you heard of every single stock on this list. Okay? Now, first, Ally Bank, Aon Bank, and DHI. You may or may not have heard of them. Okay? Now, if I buy one of those, okay, I collect my 1% on this week here. Okay, Friday I hit my target, I'm back into cash, and then here we are back on Monday. Well, look what I have to choose for this week. Siri, Visa, Wells Fargo. Okay, let's say I just pick one of those, and I buy it on Monday, I collect my 1%, I'm out, and then I'm back into cash again. Now let's look at what I'm looking at this week. Apple, Capital One Finance, Kroger, Heineken Payne, and Moody's. Well, let's say I pick one of these. Buy it on Monday, sell it on Friday, make my 1%. Okay, now look what we got next week. We got Chevron, Jeffries, UPS, Louisiana Pacific Railroad. Or is it? Okay. Now, one of those. So let's say I pick one of those, I get my 1%. So I make 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%. And look at this list. Johnson & Johnson, Heinz Ketchup, T-Mobile, buy one of those. Well, another 1%. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5%. I make 1% per week. It's 52 weeks in a year. That's 52%, hypothetically speaking. If you compound it, well, it's more than 62%. Now, if you take a look at my list, where is it? Right here. Now, let's take a gander at some of the percentages I've made since the beginning of the year. Now, going back to the very beginning. Here's week number 1. Okay? I'm just going to read the ones over here. Okay? Week 1, 2.1%. Week 2, 1.3%. Week 4, 0.85. Week 4, 0.9. Week 5, 1.03, 1.06, 1.9, 2.03, 2.32, 4.63, 3.9, 0.9, so on, so forth. You can check them out. They're all here from beginning of January. We are officially in, I believe, week number 32 for the year. Okay, we're in the third quarter. I think we're in 7th week. No, 6th week. Hold on a second. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, so we're in the 7th week of the third quarter. Do you know what that means? The 7th week of the third quarter. We're halfway through the third quarter because there's only 13 weeks in the quarter. So we're in week number 7. Okay, Realton? Oh, Real Tony Glamour. Hey, Real Tony Glamour, you're new here. Welcome to the show there, Mr. Real Tony Glamour. Sorry. All right, anyway, yeah, butt, sweat, and beers. You've been here a while, you know. Okay, Andrea. Okay, let's get out of here. It's too bright. Okay. Andrea, I have a lot of them, and they don't pay a dividend, but they are an awesome company. Okay. Now, I don't ever tell people what is right and what is wrong for them, because everyone's different. So, in case, which product will 6 iPhones work better with, Windows or Mac? Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. You know what would work a lot better than that, Calibri? If I learn how to use the damn software in my computer. I've got broadcast software that will allow me to broadcast all of them. I can't figure it out. I find it cheaper just to buy 6 phones and hit live on each one. So much easier. Open up the phone, go to Facebook, hit live, and then boom, I'm live. You want me to figure out the software? Oh, it's a little I'm old school. Okay, you got to actually walk me through it over and over and over again for me to finally get it. All right. No name user. If you generally take covered calls on Monday, what trades you take the rest of the days? I don't. Okay? Now, I invest 98% of all my money on a Monday. So here you go. You ready? Let's say, let's go all the way back up to the top. Okay, so here's the 3 accounts. You ready? Account number 1, it's got 142,000. Account number 2, 160. Account number 3, 131. Okay? So, 1%, 1,400, 1,600, 1,300. Okay, that's 1% for the week. Now, hypothetically speaking, 131,000. I will have 98% of that invested on Monday morning. And Monday morning, I will get my 1%. So that's right around 1,300 Monday morning. Okay, this account here, 167. Monday morning, I will have 98% of that invested Monday morning. Okay, and I'll get my 1% right around 1600 Monday morning. This account here, 1400 on Monday morning, 98% is invested. That 2% I leave back in case I have to do something on Friday. I need to have a little bit of money to the side. Now, the 1% here, the 1% here, the 1% here, that's money that I can spend. Okay, now I have a debit card and a credit card attached to my accounts. So on Monday, after I buy my stocks, all my money is gone, but I get 1% cash deposited into my trading account that I can do with as I please. Somebody new here. Pulsely? I don't know how to pronounce that one. P-E-U-C-L-I. Pulsely? I don't know. Anyway, hi, how you doing? Glad you're here. Have any questions? Rattle them off. All right. They are server farm and sell back energy. Okay, Andrea, I really don't know. Okay, see, I don't do companies that I don't know of. Okay, I have never heard of them, so that's going to be a no. That's the major object, the major obstacle. Okay, so think of it this way. Okay, when you're investing your money, you can take a chance on something that you don't know of. Now, I know who ExxonMobil is. I know who Chevron is. I know who Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Capital One Finance, Visa, MasterCard, Apple, Altria. Hey, all of the companies that I invest in, let's pull it back up again. Okay, Chevron, Jefferies, UPS, Johnson & Johnson, Heinz Ketchup, T-Mobile. Let's go back one. Bank Mellon, AbbVie, Procter & Gamble, Verizon, MasterCard, Globe Life, Bristol Myers Squibb, American Express. I know all of those companies. When I grew up in the 60s and 70s, these were household names in the 80s. Okay? Okay, 60s, 70s, 80s. That's where I grew up. Okay? Now, I'd say late 60s, 70s, and 80s. Because early 60s, I don't remember anything. But I remember the late 60s. Late 60s, early 70s, and the 80s. I remember all that stuff. These companies were household names back then. American Express, Bristol Myers Squibb, Globe Life, MasterCard, Verizon. I know all of those. Now, if I'm buying these companies, okay, and they're giving me 1%, why would I look at a company I've never heard of, have no idea what they do, and some of the information doesn't quite fit my criteria? Okay, so great, they might be a server farm and they sell back energy. Well, I'm thinking to myself, a server farm. Well, they didn't have servers in the manner which I'm assuming you're talking about in the 70s and 80s. So if they weren't even there in the 70s and 80s, well, then how can they have 20 years of increased dividends? And if they don't have 20 years of increased dividends, why would I be looking at them? I already have 300 companies that do fit that parameters, that do have 20 years of increased dividends and have weekly options. So why would I look at anything else? Not that I'm saying what you're doing is wrong, because what they say is different strokes for different folks. Okay, there's an ass for every saddle. There's a lot of different expressions you can use. But if it doesn't fit my parameters, I don't want to look at it. It's kind of wasting time. Okay, there's a lot of good companies out there that meet my criteria and give me the 1% I'm looking for. Now, you're going to get to a point in your life where you're retired and you get there and you think to yourself, well, there's got to be something more than the pursuit of money, because money no longer has the meaning that it used to have. Now, when I was younger, I started my own company and I drove door to door with my wares in the back of my truck. I started from nothing. I took $55 as I started my first company with $55, and I made all this artificial coral, because I used to work for someone that made exhibits for museums and aquariums. Okay, so I did some of my own. All right, great. So I take it to the first pet store, and the guy said, "Yeah, I'll take all you can make." After about 3 or 4 truckloads, he says, "Wait a second, Let me introduce you to my friend Mark. So Mark said, hey, I'll take all you can make. After 3 or 4 truckloads, he said, wait a minute, let me introduce you to Mike. And that's just how it started. Okay? I literally went door to door selling my wares. That's when I was younger, when I was money hungry. Okay? Money, how, power, and all that kind of crap. Now I'm at that point in my life where money doesn't have the same meaning. Okay, I would assume get up in the morning, go outside, listen to the birds, watch the chipmunks, watch the squirrels, and just play with my grandson and hang out. Okay, money doesn't have the same drive. You're going to get there at some point also. You're also going to get to retirement. And then you're going to think to yourself, well, where's my money going to go? Most people, okay, they play for the 40-40-40 plan. Okay, the 40-40-40 plan is you work 40 years of your life. Wait, you work 40 hours a week, 40 years of your life, and then you retire on 40% of your income. That's the 40-40-40 plan. Okay, you give your money to a money manager, and he'll say, great, let's set you up with a 4% draw. 4% draw, well, you have a 4% draw. How much do you need to take out a 4% draw to take care of all your bills? Well, that didn't work for me. That means I would be continue working for another 10 to 20 years, putting more money into my little, what do you call it? Egg basket, is that what you call it? Nest egg. Yeah, put it into my little nest egg so that I would have enough money to live off of. Yeah, so once I came up with the strategy for my daughter, okay, 1% a week, I said, wait a second, I only need this much money to retire. And once I reached that, I said, okay, I don't feel like working anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. I'll probably go back to work in a little while because I'm getting tired of doing nothing all the time. Okay, so at this moment in time, I'm down here in Florida, helping out my mother, helping out my sons with their houses and whatnot, getting everything in order. Then I'll probably go up to Maine, hang out there for a while, and then decide, what do I want to do for the rest of my life? What do I want to do when I grow up? I'm 60 years old. What do I want to do when I grow up? I have no clue. No, I ran a manufacturing company for a few years, and that's gone. They are all affected due to halving. Ooh, the halving. I'm kind of curious how that worked out this year. Uh-oh. Thoughts on Costamare? Are you kidding me? Costamare, never heard of it. Okay. All right, I'm missing some of these questions. I have to go back. I'm going to apologize for you guys. I got Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and nothing on that one. That one's just recording certain clippets. If you generally take covered calls on Monday, what trades you take? That's where I ended up. I don't take any calls. I don't do any trades during the week. Normally, I got to say normally, because yesterday we were balancing out the accounts, and I looked at 2 of my accounts. I said, holy cow, I got 30 grand sitting there and 35 grand sitting there. Let's buy something. So this morning I bought a bunch of stuff. Okay, I think I bought, I don't even know. Good thing it's written down. All right, keep going. Andrea, do you make cash back on that credit card with that 1%? Actually, funny thing is every time I deposit money, this is a hoot. Okay, now I deposit money every week into my trading account because I don't spend it all. Okay, so I deposit it back into my account, and every time I deposit in my account, I get a 1% bonus. Okay, so that's genius. Yeah. No name, thank you. So it's a 10-minute a week trading. At first, it's not going to be 10 minutes because getting the hang of it, getting to find your way through the site, all right? Now, I use Thinkorswim, and it took me years, it took me months to perfect it, going from one place to the other. Because see, here you have your charts, okay? Here you have your seasonality. That gives me an idea of what the stock usually does during a certain time of year. And from there, we have our calendar, and in our calendar we can upload different lists. Okay, so here's all my list. Okay, I have companies that are right here. See it? Okay, 100-year-old companies, calendar spreads, dividend aristocrats, dividend champions, dividend contenders, dividend kings, ETF holding list. Ooh, that's a good list. Now, ETF holding list, if you take a look at all the electronically traded funds, now people say ETFs is a exchange traded fund. Bullshit. Exchanges are all electronic. You're giving your money to a damn computer. Don't let them kid you. Quantitative easing, that's just, what do you call it? Inflation. Okay, they can call it whatever they want, fancy word. It is what it is. You're diluting the money that we have. So you ask yourself a question, okay? Seriously. All right, I remember a couple of years ago, I'd go to Walmart, and right there in front of the store is a soda machine. 50 cents for a soda. Cool, awesome. Okay, now it's $1. That's 100% increase. Don't give me this bullshit that they're saying, inflation is only like 6 or 8 or 7 or 5 or whatever bullshit they're giving you. Okay, when something goes from 50 cents to $1, and then they have those little tiny pies inside Walmart, 2 for $1, 50 cents each. Now they're 89 cents each. Well, that's more than a 50% increase. Okay? And then the dollar store, everything was $1. Now it's $1.25. That's a 25% increase. Who comes up with this bullshit that inflation's only 3, 4, 5%? Bullshit. Okay, that's a 25% increase. Did my income increase 25%? Hell no. Anyway, let's get away from that crap. Let's go. Sorry, my and everyone else's questions is so far behind. I feel like we missed you. Yeah, I got 10 questions. Okay. What app for this week or next week? Sammy, I have no idea what you mean by that. Poseidon's last molar. How important to work trades Monday at the open? West Coast Insomniac asking. Ooh, you want to hear something funny? I was listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger give a speech once, and he says, we all have 24 hours a day. X amount for this, X amount for that, X amount for this. And some guy says, yeah, but I like to sleep 8 hours a day. And Schwarzenegger says, yeah, sleep faster. We all have the same amount of time. I have no control over when the stock market opens. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, and if you're in Hawaii and you're trading, hey, brother, you got to get up at 3 or 4 in the morning. It just is what it is. Okay, we have Hakuna, which he hasn't been in the last couple of days. But this guy, Hakuna, he signs in from Sweden every day. Okay? I don't think you should change your strategy. I'm not going to change my strategy. It works for me. Thoughts on Costamare? Okay, one, I've never heard of Costamare. Okay? Now, if I've never heard of it, more than likely it's going to be a no. But I'll take a look at it. Costamare. CMRE. Yeah, it's a no. Sorry. The reason why it's a no, it has monthly options. Now, the reasons I don't do monthly options, because think of it this way. Each time I do an option, okay, I collect 1%. Think of it as a check, okay? I get 1 check per month. All right, that's 12. Now, weekly options, that's 1 check per week. That's 52. Now, I admit I never went to college, so I'm not as smart as most people. But I do know that 52 is better than 12. Okay? So if I can only do 1 per month, that means I can only do it 12 times a year. That's why I don't like monthly options. They just don't pay the same as weeklies. Okay, so Costamare is a monthly. Great. AT&T is a weekly, which means I can do it every single week. All right, now 52 weeks, 1% a week is 50% per year. And I like that number, and it works for me. So sorry, but Costamare is a no for me. It may be good for you, but not for me. Okay, I missed some questions. All right. All right, Costamare. Okay. Live live. Hey, Circle Project. Cool beans. Iceman. These are all short-term gains, correct? Any tax saving suggestions, methods? Yes. Okay, Iceman. My cost saving suggestions in tax-wise, number one, talk to a tax strategist or a wait a second, tax strategist or tax planner. Have somebody, if you're serious about this, and if it's going to be serious money. Now, if you only have 5, 10, 15, 20,000, that's not big money, okay? But at some point in time, when you get hundreds of thousands of dollars, well, yeah, those numbers are bigger, and you got to start thinking about Uncle Sam dipping his fingers. Okay, so here's the thing. Talk to a tax strategist, okay? You do not have, and I would suggest, do not put your account in your own name. Put it in an LLC, put it in a trust, put it into a corporation, something that separates you from the trading, because this can be taxed if you believe in taxes. Okay? Circle never. Yep, I remember that commercial from years ago. I don't want to grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. There's a million toys to Toys R Us that I can play with. From bikes to games to bikes to planes to video games. It's the greatest toy store there is. Okay, so anyway, Juan, dividends. Okay. Now, just because it has dividends, it doesn't mean it's automatically going to fit into this parameters. Okay, so when I say I like 20 years of increased dividends, okay, what that means is the dividend is nothing more, don't let people confuse you on this, but the shareholders' portion of the corporation's profits. Because corporations go into business, people go into business to make a profit. Okay? Most companies don't make it past the first 5 years. Okay, it's like 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 that makes it to 10 years. Can you imagine what the odds are to make it to 20 years? And then 20 years of consistently being profitable. Well, this is your money we're talking about. My money, I only want to invest in companies that are historically profitable and consistently profitable. Okay, so you got the dividend kings. 5 decades, 50 years of increased dividends. 54 companies that have consistently increased their dividend, which means every single year they're more profitable than the year before because they're giving out more profits to the shareholders. Now, once they stop increasing their dividends, well, that means they stop making money or they're making less money. Well, then I pull my money out of there and I put it into it. Because right now, you get the dividend kings, 50 years of increased dividends. The dividend champions, 25 years of increased dividends. The dividend aristocrats, again, another 25 years of increased dividends. So then you have the dividend contenders. Now they have 10 years to 24 years of increased dividends. Then I like to throw in Warren Buffett's stock list just to round things off. That's 5 lists. Between those 5 lists, you should come up with somewhere around 300 companies that consistently profitable and consistently increase their dividends to their shareholders with weekly options. This way I can get a paycheck every single week. That's what I'm looking for. Safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week. Okay, well, let's keep on rolling. Botox Doc. How's it going there, Doc? Poseidon's last molar. How do you deposit regularly into a brokerage account to earn? Doesn't all the earnings go there directly? Oh, no, because I still work once in a while. You know, I do odd jobs here and there. And let me think. Yeah, so most of my money goes right into my trading account. Do you make those lists yourself in TOS? Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, let's take a look. Oh, wait a second, wait. Let's go here. Get rid of that. Watch list. And take a look at Dividend Aristocrats. Okay, so let's take a look at the Dividend Aristocrats. You ready? Ooh, what the heck is KView? KVUE. Okay. Hormel, Altria, Albemarle, Archer Daniels, Coca-Cola, Walmart, Colgate Palmolive, Emerson's, Abbott Labs, PPG, 3M, Target, Kimberly-Clark, Nucor Energy, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Pepsi, AbbVie, ADI, Lowe's, and FMCB. I have no idea what that one is. So there's 2 or 3 of them I have no idea. Okay, FMCB, no idea. I never traded. It's a $900 stock. I have no idea how it got there. Okay, ADI, I'm not 100% sure who they are. Okay, that being said, next list. Dividend champion, or how about Warren Buffett's list? Here we go. Siri, Lila, Lilac. Oh, wait a second. I don't even know some of these. Ooh. Oh, yeah. I'm getting out of that one. Okay, so here we go. All right. So, yeah, you can put whatever list you want in there. You can add stocks, subtract stocks. Invite Chris. All right. Uh-oh, missed some more questions. How do you determine 1% per week? Is that just an estimate? Oh, well, just Drew. Interesting question. So let's try this for a second. All right. I think this is about right. All right, so let's get out our calculator. Uh-oh. Calculator. All right, let's put it way over here. All righty, now let's clear this. Everything's cleared. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add up all the profits from the sales of this week, which don't really look that appetizing now, does it? Huh. All right, well, let's check it out. 48 contracts at $17 a contract. 816 bucks for that one trade. Okay, plus memory, clear that. Win. 14 contracts at $19. 14 times 19, that's 266. I'm going to add that to there. Okay, now 16 contracts at four bucks. 16 times 4 equals 64 plus memory, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now 13 times 3. Is that correct? 13 times 3 comes to that, plus memory equal that, memory recall, $1,185. Okay? Now, originally, it's $100,000 in this account. So, $100,000, 1.18%. Okay, that was this week. Okay, last week. The 5th through the 9th. Okay, here we go. Let's do the same for the 5th through the 9th. This was last week. Clear that. Clear that. Okay, 35 contracts at 24. 35 contracts, multiply 24, grand total of 840. Plus memory, clear. 16 contracts at 10 cents, that's 160. Plus memory, clear. 13 contracts at 13. 13 times 13 equals, plus memory, clear. 13, okay. Ooh, check that one out. Can that be right? 14 contracts at 122? Holy shit. Okay. 122 multiply by 14 contracts. 1700. Plus memory, clear. Okay, that was win. Bitto, we got rid of Bitto. I'm not going to count that because that just eliminated the position. That's not a rate of return, so I'm going to skip that one. AEO, I got a 42-cent credit right there. 42-cent credit, 35 contracts. Okay, so $42 multiplied by 35 contracts. Another 1400. So plus memory. Okay, clear that. Memory recall. Okay, so this week I only made what? 1100, 1200. Last week I made 4300. Okay? Now, the week before that, where are we going? Right here. July 20, wait a minute, what is this one? The 9th? Okay, yeah. July 29th to August 2nd. Okay, now, these are all the trades 3 weeks ago. All right, calculator, let's clear that. Let's clear that. Okay, so I bought more win, so you can't really count that. 48, look at this, Kohl's. 48 contracts at 19 bucks. 19 bucks multiply 48 contracts. Okay, 902 plus memory. Okay. 16 contracts at 37 bucks. 37 bucks multiply 16 contracts. 592. Okay, got that. Okay, now MPW. I bought 1,300 shares at $4.97. I sold 13 contracts of the 5 for 17 cents a share, which is $17 per contract. So 13 contracts at $17 comes to $221 plus memory. Okay, great. All right, now win. Okay, W-Y-N-N. Okay, the 85 call, 42 bucks, 14 times. So 14 multiplied 42, grand total of 588. Plus memory, clear. Okay, I'm not going to count Bitto, okay, because I got rid of that one. All right, so I'm not going to count that one. Okay, win. I did a spread on win, lost money there. And I did a spread on Bitto, lost money there. So, I'm going to do that in a second, hold on. The last one I sold, 48 contracts at 10 cents. Okay, so 48 contracts, that's 480 bucks. 480 bucks. Okay? Plus memory. Okay, clear. So, 27.93. But I lost money here and I lost money there because those were two spreads that I did. So let's get those out. So that's 620 bucks a loss, okay? 10 contracts at 62. Okay? So subtract 620. Okay, that's the first one I lost money on right here. Okay, second one, Bitto, 10 contracts at 49. Okay, I lost another 490. Subtract 490. Okay, so 3 weeks ago, I only made 1,683. Now remember, the account started out with 100,000. So 100,000, this is 1.6% of 100,000. So that's my 1%. I'm looking to get, okay, see, the account has 100,000 in it. So I'm looking to get $1,000 a week. That's 1% of 100,000. Mandy, how are you? Mandy, I'm going to apologize now because you're signing in at 11:26. I go from 9 p.m. to 11:30. So you get my wonderfulness for 4 minutes. Sorry, kiddo. All right. So hopefully that answers that question. How do I calculate the 1%? Well, I use some simple math. Okay, so you have what you have coming in. All right. So if I do a covered call every single week, okay, 5 or 6 positions. What do I have here? Here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions. Okay, so 5 positions. I like to have it, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000, 20,000. Does it always work that way? No, but that's what ideally that's what I'd like to have. So I got 5 positions here, and out of those 5 positions, I'm looking to get $1,000. So each position is going to give me around $200. You saw some of the trades I made, and some of them made over, $5, 6, 7, $800 at one time. Some of them only made $20, $30 at a time. Okay, I don't really worry too much about the sizes. It's the percentages that I'm looking for. I'm only looking for 1% a week, which is only $1,000 a week. All right, that being said, let's finish up with the last 20 questions. We got 3 more minutes to go. It's making sense. Thank you. Well, I'm glad it makes sense. Andrea, my friend called and missed if you get some points on your credit card for income when you deposit. Okay, wait. Let me read that again. My friend called and missed if you get points on your credit card from the income you deposit. Okay. No. I get not my credit card, my trading account. So anytime I take money outside of, anytime I earn money and I deposit it into my trading account, I get a 1% bonus for every dollar I put in my trading account, which is kind of cool if you think about it. Hope you feel better. Me too, Ashley. Thank you for that. Corey, hey, it's alive. Yep, hey. Who should say that? Was that Rerun? That was Rerun from That's My Mama. Hey, Raj, what's up? Yeah, I remember that. Anyway, besides the point. So, we're at 11:30. I actually got all my questions done. No questions on YouTube. Wait a minute, I got what questions on YouTube? YouTube, what questions we got? Hello, good evening. That's someone. Okay, Ethan usually got it. Okay, great. Got it all caught up over there. Nothing. I don't even know why do I bother broadcasting on Facebook. It's like maybe 1 or 2 people a week show up on Facebook. I should probably just cut them right out. All right. All that being said, it's 11:30. I'm going to call it a night. I will more than likely go pick up another computer tomorrow. This is just silly. But we'll see. We'll see how things work out. Okay, you guys have a great night. We'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow, the sun will come out. Tomorrow. Bye, Instagram people. And now, there you go. And for you guys here, I will catch you guys again tomorrow. And you guys here on YouTube, catch you guys tomorrow.